I thought I'd capture this fairly interesting moment where I got to the end of a little browser automation project, and the last step is closing the browser. And I am now using Microsoft Playwright. So I'm learning its nuances, its ins and its outs, and you'll see over here I have a downloads directory full of stuff, ls. So it's got all those temporary file names that's assigned on the downloads. And these downloads were created by clicking on a download button on a web user interface item. Now I have this program here that's running on a busy loop that's just moving things from one directory to another. It's actually done doing its job, so I can Control C out of that and then let you see. It's just in a busy loop, copying everything from the downloads directory to a directory inside my repo, sending errors to null so that I didn't have to look at when the asterisk came up with nothing. And I'm waiting for this little Chrome icon here to disappear. And when it does, these files should poof and vanish. But because I've been running this script, I actually have them sitting here. I've preserved them. It's got these ugly temporary file names that are assigned, and Microsoft Playwright apparently has a whole API for doing more deliberate downloads and putting things places and giving it file names and having a download object instead of just clicking the button that results in a download. And doing it this other way, giving you a download object, you can wait for it to be ready, on return, all that kind of stuff. But I didn't have time to figure out that fancy API. I'm coming from Puppeteer, or technically Puppeteer, which I didn't really have access to the innards of Node.js tricks. I tried doing it in native JavaScript directly with Puppeteer. Puppeteer is Google. Puppeteer is an unofficial library in Python packaging index. But I got tired. Oh, look, see, that disappeared. The browser disappeared. I gave it a 3-minute timeout before it disappeared, right? The reason that sat there for a while and then came back is because I had this little busy loop here. Done, waiting 300 seconds, and then it closed the browser. And if that did the right thing and freed up all the resources, basically exiting the context manager loop that was established by Playwright, these should be gone. ls gone. See, it cleans up after itself. Even if you deliberately downloaded it, even if you did browser automation to make it click a button in the browser, and it ends up here in your real official downloads directory, pwd, my print working directory, is /home, the very standard /home location in Linux and Unix. My username, which because I'm using a very standard LXD container here, my username is Ubuntu in /downloads, and that's the same as home/downloads. And that's where a default browser download puts stuff when you configure it as standard Chrome using your data, your user data that is tied to the browser. Anyway, there's some persistence discussions here to be held later. But now that directory is empty, see, ls empty. It just deleted them all when the browser closed. Context manager, perhaps, or the default behavior of Playwright, I'll find out. But because I had this program running, and in the background it was just downloading every 10 seconds everything from one directory to another, I still have those files. And one of my next projects now is these are each a data frame, or these are each CSV files. Even though they lost the file name .csv extension, these are actually each CSV files. So all I have to do is glob the directory and step through each file, throw the contents of that file as a data frame into a list, and then join the data frame. So that's my next step after a whole bunch of downloads that would have taken me this long. It took me a while to write the script to do this, but it would have taken me that long to do it manually as well. And on the next go around, I wouldn't have the script ready to just pull out and repeat it without cutting out the, you just push the time consumption into your startup cost of a project, right? It takes longer at the beginning to automate, but ongoing it's easier. But things change, and so you got to keep it flexible. I'd scroll up and show you stuff, but there's a lot of proprietary stuff here. So what I'm going to do is make more generic examples that I can really share with the public, doing this browser automation kind of thing on, more generic tasks than here where I am, probably Google queries. This is what's in store maybe for doing SERP scraping and stuff. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you soon.